Well, Thursday shows are never complete without checking in with our colleagues at Life.
First, we are spotlighting an upcoming arts exhibition. Now, tomorrow, the National Gallery welcomes Something New Must Turn Up, 6 Singaporean artists after 1965. Wow, quite a mouthful to say. But as the title suggests, the exhibition showcases the works of 6 of Singapore's post-independence artists.
And here to tell us more is journalist Toh Wen Li. Hi, Wen Li. So this showcase is massive, to say the least, with 300 works and more than 100 archival materials. There's also a historical richness to it. Could you share more on these 6 local artists?
The artists are all very respected, but also, could say, relatively underrated. The 6 artists are Chung Seok Tin, Jafar Latif, Muhammad Din Muhammad, Goh Beng Kwan, Eng Tao, and Lin Sin Sin. So they all have a very diverse range of backgrounds and practices. So just to give you a very quick run through of their artistic backgrounds, Chung was known primarily as a printmaker, but we do see her larger installations in this particular exhibition. We also see works by Jafar Latif, who was known for combining traditional batik techniques with a more abstract expressionistic style. We also have a Sufi mystic, Muhammad Din, who has several installations on display. Goh Beng Kwan, who is known for his collages. Eng Tao was very versatile, working with various media, including cloth reliefs and bronze sculptures, as well as Lin Sin Sin, who has been described as an IT visionary. So she started a virtual museum in 1994. So as you can see, there's a very rich array of works that will be on display, and these are all such diverse artists, all trying to make it new in their own right in the decades following independence.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a myriad of art pieces to peruse through. And so, Wen Li, if I don't have time to meander through the entire exhibition, which pieces should I beeline for?
Yeah, that's a great question, because it's not just one exhibition, but more like 6 solo exhibitions. It's a lot to take in. So if you don't have much time, I suggest prioritizing perhaps the showcases of Chung Seok Tin and Muhammad Din Muhammad's works. These are 2 late artistic heavyweights. And we do see more large installations by Chung, who many people will associate with printmaking. Muhammad Din's practice is also fascinating. He was, you could describe him as a polymath. He was a martial arts master, a Sufi mystic, writer, traditional healer, as well as a collector of Southeast Asian artifacts, which we do also see on display. So these 2 were, I felt, very interesting. I was also a fan of Eng Tao's very quiet, contemplative works. One of them is the Eclipse triptych, which consists of cloth relief works, which incorporates sewing techniques. Lin Sin Sin's display was also very interesting. She is an artist working ahead of her time, trained in math and computer science. We do see the influence of these disciplines on her art making too, as a digital media pioneer. So it's very hard to pick favorites, but yeah, I definitely recommend heading down to the National Gallery this weekend and spending a good couple of hours there, slowly soaking in the art.
Thanks, Wen Li. That was journalist Toh Wen Li. Now, the exhibition opens tomorrow and will be on until August 22nd. Admission is free for Singapore citizens and PRs.
Well, moving on. If you're a fan of Emmy-winning Disney series Gravity Falls, chances are you'll love this new film, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which is directed by the writers of Gravity Falls.
The movie tells the story of Katie, a teenager eager to leave the cultural desert of Michigan for film school in LA. Her father wants to go on one more family road trip, mainly to see if he can reconnect with Katie again.
Well, film correspondent John Lui is here for a quick review. Hello, John. How rare that we're talking about an animated production with you. Now, I guess we can't help but compare The Mitchells versus the Machines with Gravity Falls. What are their similarities and differences?
Well, the writers and directors of the show, Mike Rianda and Jeff Rowe of Gravity Falls, the series, if you're fans of that, they've moved from there and they are now co-directors of this movie, The Mitchells versus the Machines. So they bring a lot of that same energy, the same visual buzz.
What do you like most about the film? And on the flip side, what were your peeves?
Well, what I loved was they carried over that same sense of humor, which is a little goofy, a little sweet, and it's not kind of like The Simpsons. They don't punch downwards with ethnic stereotypes, and it's not in that kind of cartoon vein that you get a lot of, where there's a wacky animal fantasy sidekick who's voiced by a stand-up comedian. So what you get is a lot of genuine situation-based humor about family life, American family life today. It's about a girl, a daughter trying to break free of her father, but also at the same time the father trying to come closer to the daughter. What I like and what I didn't like. Okay, so what happens is a little satire of technology and life, because everyone's obsessed with their phones. You get a lot of films now and TV shows that make fun of people being obsessed with their phones and social media, which I haven't seen it done very well yet. It's a bit of a low-hanging fruit, and to make fun of it, it always misses the mark.
Thanks, John. That was film correspondent John Lui with his review on The Mitchells vs. the Machines. You can watch it on Netflix now. Now, last I checked, it was in Singapore's top 5.
Whoa. Okay, if you're looking for affordable and delicious Vietnamese fare in Singapore, and if you happen to be in Tampines, check out Banh Mi Dit by Star Baguette. A new outlet opened last month at Tampines Street 81.
You may already be familiar with its first outlet in Geylang Road, which opened back in 2018. Let's now bring in ST Food online editor Heidi Khoo. Hi Heidi. Heidi, banh mi is a staple in Vietnam. What makes this banh mi so special, or perhaps more authentic?
I think it's very special because this place actually makes its own bread, which is not very usual in Vietnam as well, because from what I understand, many of the banh mi shops in Vietnam, they also take the ready supply of bread from bakeries, and they don't, not everybody has the time or the energy to make their own baguette from scratch. So at this place, I think what's very special is that the bread is made fresh every day in the shop, right in the kitchen itself, where they have a Vietnamese master baker making the bread not just every day, but in small batches throughout the day. So, what you're getting is optimal freshness, very fresh, crusty baguette.
Wow, my mouth is already watering. So Heidi, I have to know, out of the 4 options, beef, chicken, ham and pork, which was your favorite?
The 2 signature popular items at this place is the pork banh mi and also the pate banh mi. And what's unusual and special about these 2 items are that the ham and the pate are all made from scratch in their kitchen. And even the franchise outlet at Tampines gets their stock of all the ingredients from the Geylang shop. So if you really want to go and eat there, I think for me, I'll go back to the original shop where, they're making everything there. Everything is like super fresh. The pork, what's impressive is that they don't even use frozen pork. So they use fresh hind trotter leg meat for the ham and also for the pate. And they actually shipped in a special grinder, special equipment all the way from Vietnam just to be able to make the ham and the pate on the spot. And the seasoning it's pretty authentic because the person making it is one of the co-owners, and she got the recipe and she developed the recipe from the one she learned from her mother and her grandmother, who used to operate a banh mi shop in Vietnam.
Well, that sounds very delicious indeed. Thank you so much, Heidi. That was ST Food online editor Heidi Khoo. Banh Mi Dit is part of an entire spread on Vietnamese eateries in this week's Sunday Live. And as always, the Friday pages tomorrow will have more weekend suggestions.